What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices for KERN. It's the man with a plan, Victor Lara. We got a few new guests here, or one new guest. You've been here before, right?
Yes, I have.
So we'd like to you guys to introduce yourselves. So your name, social security number, and no, I'm just kidding. Nah, it's your name, why you joined Time for Change, and then I forgot the other one, but we'll say, what's your favorite thing about being with Time for Change as well?
Okay. My name is Malia. My favorite thing about being in Time for Change is that it's just really cool and vibey to like meet new people and just be in an environment that's like different and more positive, because that's really important. And what was the other question?
Why did you come and join Time for Change?
Why? I came in for Time for Change because my mom really influenced me. She wants me to go out more and do more things and make more connections with other people. And I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And I love being here. So
Mom was like, you better go out there and do something. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I ain't saying nothing. I know moms. Moms don't play.
All right,
Okay.
All right, so then yourself was...
My name is Castel. I joined Time for Change because I just heard a lot of good things from friends. And I just wanted to experience that myself, which is why I think the experiences that I've learned here and all the advice that I've gotten from all the staff members is what makes me stay. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's beautiful.
Sounds like Mario.
That's beautiful. It's more like Scarface.
Oh,
No.
I've been playing Mario Bros, so I was like,
Okay.
yeah.
They're doing great. I'm Joe. I work for Victor.
Yeah.
He gives me missions. I complete them. That's
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I work for free. Yes, sir.
I pay really good.
I'm super excited about this episode. I think we're going to dive into some stuff that really matters in the world, and we're going to get Gen Z's opinion. We got this one left millennial, and then we got Vic. Who knows how old Vic really is, huh?
Nah,
Are
I'm
you
in my
19?
own little category.
Yeah.
It's like,
Because you got wisdom.
yeah, so
This on and popping. Are you ready to talk about today's topic?
I'm ready.
The topic is the things that divide us, right? Period. This was inspired by Malia, right? Conversation in the hallway after a meeting. She laced me up with so much game. In like 2 minutes, I was like, oh, okay, I know what we got to talk about. So let's jump right into it because we got a limited amount of time. And I'll swing it back towards you, but we're going to talk about we're going to build it up from the bottom all the way up to the top in both episodes. So there'll be a second episode coming, so watch out for it. 1, identity. Identity is, for the sake of this episode, self-identifying through your own personal core values, your own sense of self. Okay, once again, what you believe in, what you believe to be true, what you love, what you like, what you deem good, what you deem bad. That's your self-identity. Then we also have identification through groups. This is where more value is given to your identity for group values as opposed to your own personal values. In other words, if all the group feels XYZ, then I feel XYZ, even though in my heart I might secretly believe ABC. Okay? This is at the basis of all division, your identity. So first thing we want to talk about is, do you feel, and we got to be honest, do you feel more comfortable identifying with your own beliefs, or is it easier for you sometimes to identify with beliefs as a group?
Oh, that's a good one. I feel like it changes throughout time, because when I was in high school, I used to kick it with a certain group, believe what they believed. And then as you get older, you're like, it don't even matter what they say. So you start being yourself. I feel like it comes with time, For myself, I want to say self-identity now. But back then, a few years ago, getting older. But I feel like back then it was more like, okay, I'm going to go with the group. You know how they say birds of the same feather flock together. So I was kind of like that, just going with the flock. But kind of had to stray away, I guess, become an eagle.
Fine.
What about you guys?
I feel like I kind of believe in like everybody, because everybody has their own opinions about different things. So I'm just like, I just enjoy the person instead of like, you know,
Groups.
different groups and stuff.
Look at you. Come on, girl.
Already grown.
Mhm. So one time I applied to be a gang member. I treated it like it was a job.
I was like, I didn't know they had
but no, seriously.
applications.
So seriously, I was applying to be a gang member. This is a true story. And they were like, "Do you want to be in the gang or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah," because that's how you have to say it. So then I was like, "Yeah." So then they was like, "All right, cool. You got to just kick it with us. You got to take us to the store, get wraps, just hang out with us, and we do stuff, right?" So then there's one time there's this guy, and we're like, "Oh, we don't like this guy. We got to jump him." And I was like, because I didn't really want to jump him, because I don't like, I never fought anybody that I wasn't mad at. Like, if you haven't done that to me, I never fought you. So I was just like, why are we jumping this guy for? And oh, he been doing such and such with the other homie. I'm like, okay, cool. So then we start jumping them, right? And I'm over there in the corner, and I'm just kind of like tapping him. True story. It's a true story. But why do I say the most embarrassing things? Anyway, I was so torn between like being myself and being like, this dude ain't done nothing to me. That's y'all. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm out, or I'm gonna go live my life. Which that was me internally, but externally, I wanted to be a part of something, and I didn't feel like I had anything in this life. So I laid a couple light left taps, and afterward they were like, "Oh yeah, we did him. We got him." And I was like, "Yeah, we got him." But really, I was just trying to be involved. What do you think of when you hear that? What type of thoughts does that bring to mind for you, Castel or Vic or whoever?
I think for me, it just reminds me of this group mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You just follow what the group says and does.
Mm.
Which, if I can apply it to my own experience.
Whatever you want to do. It's vibes.
I think when it comes to my own identity, I'll just go straight to my gender identity.
Okay.
I did feel the same way where I felt like I had to follow this social construct of what gender identity and what society deemed what I was supposed to be, and that was decided to me from birth.
Wow.
I didn't get to choose, so I just followed what I had to do. But deep inside, it hurt me. Like that wasn't who I am. But it was just so contradictory to what I am. And now I would like to say that I do try to follow my own beliefs and stay away from like what the group says, what society says. So
that's beautiful.
yeah.
Dang, that hurt my heart.
Yeah,
But now, you know, I kind of have the same story as you, you know, but when I did
you get in the game? I didn't get in the game.
No, I told them, they were like, hey, bro, you got to beat this fool up. He did this, and that. I was like, bro, I don't even know this guy. Like, I ain't going to do that. And then they just looked at me like, all right, we're not going to talk to you. I was like, don't talk to me. I don't care.
Oh, so you were already a stand-up dude at that age. See,
yeah.
That's cool, man.
But I was just like, and then I had a few homies that were like, nah, bro, who cares? Like, we still going to kick it with you. You're cool.
Okay.
But I feel like it's just kind of like I said, it comes with age. You know, when you're in high school, you kind of want to fit in the group. You know, you want to be there just the whole time. Like, hey, man, these are my homies. This is how I'm going to be. Even if you're living a certain lifestyle, because, you know, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. But I definitely think that just growth, you know, like you guys are still pretty young. You guys just graduated high school, and you guys are already like so many more steps ahead than I was. You know, it took me a while to figure it out. And when I finally did figure it out, I'm still trying to learn, you know, trying to navigate through certain things. I see things from a group lens and stuff like that. So I actually like how you guys have spoke like, hey, you know, just being here, you're not following the group. You know, most kids right now, what are they doing? You know, having fun doing drugs, having fun, you know, and then it's going to come to like early grave or something. And you guys are out here just trying to make a change. So you guys are already making your own way and stuff like that. So I actually really like that.
Malia, have you ever compromised your own personal values to become a part of a group, like similar to me, fake jumping a guy? Yeah, I was just hooking him up. But still, he saw me as one of the attackers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think in my heart, like I did the right thing, but in his lens, he was probably like, "Who's this guy over here? Like, that can't hit good or whatever." But anyway, Lord help me.
I'm like trying to like really think.
Yeah, it's okay. And if you haven't, you haven't. If you have, you have.
Probably like once or something, like once or twice, probably. I feel like there's this thing. Okay, so yeah, there is something. Okay, it's kind of like with talking and how you act, though. I feel like it's kind of like in that genre, but It's one time I got told. Well, there's multiple times that I've been told that I talk white from my fellow
Me
black
too.
people, but
Because I know how to read. You know what I'm saying? I know I'll talk white because I know how to read. You don't know how to read. Anyway, go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah, but there's been times that I've tried to fit in with the my family and like my black friends or whatever,
That's good.
and it's now I'm just like I need to like be myself. I'm not trying to like fake it because I'm very bad at trying to fake it because it's just no, it doesn't work. But yeah, it's actually crazy because I learned that when I was in school. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, it was a very nice topic to talk about in school. So yeah.
No, what do you think about that, G?
That's kind of crazy. It's kind of like, going back to what I've been saying, sometimes just, I feel like in high school, that's the biggest thing. This is a topic they should talk about more in high school because they don't really, in school, got to learn about history, Abe Lincoln, what he did.
Exactly.
So
Fire.
they got to talk about these things because sometimes we just go and follow the group without wanting to, You learned and you got to navigate through your own things, but a lot of people don't learn. They just follow the crowd and then ends up to bad things, I'm actually really proud of you guys for doing what you guys are doing because, like I've said, it takes time, Actually, you got to have the mindset of an adult, I guess, to think like that because
it's hard.
Yeah, and even like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out. I still follow the group sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes
The pressure's there, right?
Yeah, peer pressure, peer pressure.
And this divides us eventually because if you can like give away one of your core values, then you're destined to give away more. Like I dealt with what you dealt with because I like scholastic stuff. I like to read. I like to learn. I like to be an intellectual. But when I was around certain cats, whatever it is, like we don't talk like that. So I remember Dragon Ball Z was like hot for a while earlier on. And I was like, oh man, I'm about to watch Dragon Ball Z. And 3 of the homies were right there and they was like,
what?
We don't watch that. And I was like, yeah, we don't watch that. It's like the pressure to not admit who I really was so intense. Or you like try to not use as big words. Or you also notice that like when you're around G's or whatever, they don't smile as much. And I'm like really like, what's up?
Yeah.
And when you're with them, you're like,
You act all serious.
You act all serious. Yeah. So like the pressure, let's talk about that and then we'll move on. The pressure to be anything but yourself to fit in with people. How do you manage it?
It's hard to manage it. It's just, for me, I think it's just, it's too much pressure sometimes. It's like, I really take a third perspective and look at this and like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this in the first place? These people aren't really considering who I am and I'm putting up this act who isn't me, And especially in school, like there's so many cliques, and as human beings, we have this need to belong, and belonging in a group is just our like instinct. So it's going against the crowd and having the chance of being who you are, but then you got all this pressure telling you no, who you are is not, it's not right. That's weird. That's not cool or whatever. So it's hard to manage that type of feeling, but it's just building yourself, maturing to that level and thinking that it doesn't matter what they say, it doesn't matter what the group says, because who you are is, at the end of the day, it's just you sleeping,
Thanks.
There's no one, yeah.
So. How about you? How do you guys manage the pressure?
I think the big one for like, I mention it a lot of times when I go and talk to people, just finding your reason why you want to do things, having that self-identity, that confidence of like, all right, what is it that I want to do? Do I really want to be a gang member? Is that what I want to do? That's my why. Like I want to go bang for the set, put on for the town, or do I want to actually go do something for myself and my family? Finding that reason why and having that confidence in yourself, that belief. Because a lot of times we, like you said, we want to belong to a group because we don't really believe in ourselves. All right, what could I do? Trying to find yourself. So trying to find yourself and have that self-love rather than trying to follow a group. That's kind of how I did it, separating yourself from certain people, and trying to see what's good for yourself and actually going to that why and have a goal. You know, having a goal, that goal for your guys' self. What is it that you guys want to do? What about you? What do you think?
Y'all basically summed everything up. I don't know. Like, I 100% agree with like what both of you guys said. Like, it's you just have to find that like self-love and like the confidence to finally like get up and say, this is not okay. This is not me. I need to exit the situation.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This is already getting good. And this is just barely like the foundation. So let's go into it. She said a word that's on my notes. Crew, clique, friend group. I hate that one. Sounds so weird, friend group. Squad, gang, right? This is where we all got together because of a commonality we had. And we found safety in that commonality, right? Then all of a sudden, it goes from safety to bias. Like we clicked up because we had a commonality. We found safety in each other. Then all of a sudden, we start looking over there and being like, what's up with that group?
They're different.
Forget those fools over there. Let's start fighting with them. Why do you think this happens? Why does it go from, we all love Pokemon, let's be buds, to this guy's on Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's fight him. Let's start to beef with them.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your thoughts around that topic?
People are scared of being different. It's just, I think that's what it truly is to its core. They're just scared. They see something that's out of the norm, and their first instinct is, what? Get away from me. What are you doing? Why are you like this? Because I think being in a group, like you said, it's safety, but not only that, it's comforting. It's comforting knowing that there's people out there like you. And when you have this group with you, it's easily to just group this one opinion about someone else. And thinking like this other group is different, it scares them. And sadly, that's a lot of people's instincts, just fear, and it's to attack, flight or fight type of thing.
Straight up.
I want to say it's insecurity as well. I feel like that kind of goes off to, like, even when you see like modern day politics or whatever, they go off of your insecurity. It's like, oh, we got to close the borders. Illegals are coming, and then there goes people's insecurities like, oh, they're going to take our jobs or whatever, So I feel like that's a big reason for the divide, having that insecurity. Kind of like you said, finding that comfort in our groups, growing up with certain people, you guys have the same story, same thing, so you guys could bond over it, same pain, and seeing a different group, because even when I grew up, kind of like Jovon said, there was groups that literally, like, you could see, like, we probably had the same thing, but for some reason we just didn't click. Like, man, we hate them. And we're like, when we see them, it's on sight. And then it was like, bro, like, they're just like us. Like, so I feel like it's that insecurity of getting, just, how do I want to say it? Kind of ran over, I guess.
Straight up.
Taken advantage of or whatever. You want to take that control and you want to feel power somewhere or another. That's just.
This is too good.
What I think.
I think we're gonna go to a quick break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna keep pushing our way through this episode. Voice for KERN, time for change. Tell your mama. And your dog.
Cat.
back.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So thank you guys so much for sharing this and watching a little ad. Don't forget to comment, share, subscribe, and go on our socials. Give us a like. Show your mom, your dad. Take your mom's credit card if you had to and donate to us. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But any donation counts. And yeah, so we're talking about what divides us. Self-identity, groups, and insecurities and stuff like that. So we're gonna go give it back to Joe and see what we're gonna follow up with.
Okay. We've been having a bomb conversation. We've been talking in identity as the building block of what divides us. Building a continuum from the bottom to the top of what this math problem of division looks like from its very root. And the root problem, we're talking about just identity, right? Knowing who you are, knowing your values. So that way, if my group does values that are different, I'm like, okay, well, bye. Like, I can do my own thing. Question, I'm gonna go straight to Malia because we left off right there. Why do you think it's so important in this generation, in this time, for us to be identified with a group? like the stoners, the athletes, the skaters, Crips, Bloods. Like, why do you think it becomes so important for us to identify with a group as opposed to just identifying as a person?
I feel like it's important to identify as a group because there's so many like people that are just like, oh, I want to do this, like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to be in this group, or I want to be in this group, and nobody like really gets to think like we all like need each other in some kind of way. And it's important that we make those connections and, you know, be with each other instead of being against each other, because it isn't doing anything but causing more damage. And it's not helping anybody, you know, and fighting and all the other stuff that us teens do. It's not like good, and like bullying and things like that too. Very terrible.
Very good. Anybody else have thoughts? Yeah,
It's kind of funny how she said like fighting how us teens do. Like, just bring me back to like the other day at my apartments.
Okay.
We're working out, bro. I kid you not, I was gonna go watch some clothes. I see like a gang fight right there. Boom, 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 boom. I was just watching there like, dang, they were grown adults. So not just teens doing it, you feel me? They were grown adults. They were older than me. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's kind of like, no matter, kind of going back to what I've been saying this whole episode, some people, you know, it takes time to grow, but some people don't ever grow or get out of that mentality. You know, that's why we have people in prison that are still gang banging and they're like 60. Like, damn, bro, you still fighting for the mission, dog? Like,
for real.
Like, damn,
still
bro.
broke over a
Like,
gang.
you still there, bro.
I wish
So
I would be broke over a gang.
that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people just don't grow out of it. It's what we need. They need the humans are human beings are just like, they like to socialize. They're social creatures. They like to talk to people, fit in the same groups. You gang bang, I gang bang, you know, let's talk together, you know. So that's kind of going back to what we've been talking about. That group identity sometimes takes over, you know, that self-identity is out the trash and we just socialize with the group and that's all we have.
Straight up. I love it. Castel, you got any thoughts?
Yeah. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the group mentality takes over. Because at first, you're trying to find a group, right? Because I feel people are afraid of being themselves and being alone and being comfortable with themselves. But they choose to get that comfort from being in a group.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing, to be honest, that we don't like change. And changing ourselves is a difficult reality that we have to come across. Because they don't want to change, and changing is going to mean so much. It's going to mean losing some friends, losing some family members even. So yeah, it's a lot at stake if you try to move away from the group. It's riskier supposedly, but are you willing to risk it for the sake of your own identity?
Case in point, before, like, let's go 1958. A group of 500 to 600 white people, and this is no shade to white people, because I love white people, I just want to say that, but in the group, there was a bunch, like 600 white people. They were watching a public lynching of a black man, tied, beaten, and burned in front of everyone. Kids were there, adults were there. In modern day America, watching somebody get burned to death because he was black. Do you think anybody out there wanted to be like, this ain't right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
How many?
Out of just 600, probably like 10.
I say like 100.
Yeah.
Like 100. What stops us from saying that ain't right?
Getting the same thing. Burn them too.
What stops you personally from saying that ain't right? I'll give you mine. When I was young, I went to an Oakland Raiders game. Whoop, whoop. And they sucked though. But we were there, and then they were beating up this Broncos fan in the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, and they were in there, and he had a Broncos jersey on, and somebody beat him on the back of the head while he was at the urinal doing his stuff. And I was probably like 16, and I said, leave him alone. I changed my voice.
Like this.
And they were like, who said that? And I was like, right? Because the idea was like, are you guys going to turn on me? So the fear was present. Why you personally, why don't you or you do maybe speak out more when you see things that aren't right when it's group mentality involved? I do speak out now, so I'm just going to say that.
Probably like the fear, and also it's because like the fear of also being like alone in that too. Like if there's like a group of people like that were at the hanging or lynching or
Yeah. Both.
if it's so many people there like that are like, yes, do this, like yes, do it, and then you're just like, no, I don't like want this to happen. You're against 600 other people. You want to fit in. You don't want to be the one that's like, oh, don't do this, because then they're probably, like you said, gonna probably turn on you too.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Do you want to fit in?
With like
Whatever you think. Or you sometimes, I don't know.
I don't think so anymore.
Go, girl.
Honestly, I feel like this year I've really I'm figuring out who I am, what I stand for, what I don't stand for, standing up for myself and my beliefs and what I believe in as well. But also, being open to everybody else too. But just standing my ground on what is right.
Vic, you want to fit in?
I used to, for sure. I mean, I want to fit in with the money crowd. I want to go where the money's at, know. No, not really, to be honest. I feel like I just want to be a leader to other people. So I feel like being a leader doesn't really, you don't want to fit in with the other crowd. You want to think a little differently sometimes. You want to make some noise, do things. They say go left, you go right,
Be a leader,
yeah,
follower.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I've always tried to do. I mean, like you said back then, I had a group of people that was like, if I said, nah, I'm not gonna do that, like, you ain't gonna do it, bro. And you get a little whopping. So, I feel like definitely now I don't. A lot of people don't speak up. Like for me back then, it was kind of like, what am I gonna do? Like I'm not gonna have any friends. Like, I'm not gonna be able to talk to this guy if I don't think like him. I'm not gonna be able to kick it with the homies if I'm not smoking, if I'm not doing this. So that's kind of what my mindset was back then. But now that I'm older, I don't really talk to people like that no more. So I'm like, I don't care. Like, I always tell my girlfriend, she's always like, man, it's because people are gonna say this. I'm like, as long as they don't like. The day they start paying my rent or my bills is when I'm gonna care what they say.
You sound like my dad. Right?
No, I mean
That's
it's the
true.
truth.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's also really easy also for like me too, because I've never been like a type of person that like to talk to every single person. I've always had my circle, like my friend circle and stuff like that, very small. So it's kind of been like a little bit harder for me to even get to that point where I feel like I need to change myself.
Question on that. Do we make it easy for people to join our groups once we establish them? Like whatever group it is?
damn, that's a hard question. I don't think so.
I don't either.
I really don't think so.
That's why we overemphasize it here at Time for Change. For everyone. Here at Time for Change. Where everyone is welcome, right? Because we want to create an atmosphere that provides safety, but also provides exposure. Where you weren't as exposed to a certain group until you got here. Even for instance, I've had dozens of employees, and I got my first employee that really goes by a pronoun. And is that okay I say that?
Yeah, it's okay.
I already did, huh? But you're cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was my first time as a boss having to try to remember something that's not really a part of my everyday life. And it's not because I disagree with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know my heart, right?
Yeah.
But it's like I have to try to remember to honor something that's important to Castel by exposure. Since Castel has arrived, then I'm getting more exposed. So we're going to talk about exposure a little bit and how that helps. How important is it to you guys to have discussions with people that think completely different from you?
Dang, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So you can have different. Oh, sorry.
No,
Nah, yeah, this is the vibe. Jump in.
So you can have like different you can just be open to different things. Like if this person likes this or this person likes this, then we all like different things, but we're still family and we're still close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like for me, growing up in a smaller city, I wasn't exposed to a lot of things that are like here. When I first moved out here, I was like, dang, like it's so crazy out here. Like there's all kinds of different people, LGBTQ, like in my community, we didn't even have like African Americans. Like it was just Mexicans, we didn't have a lot of white people.
What kind of crap is that?
No, bro.
I get mad.
Bro. Now I go out there, it's growing, so I do see it like that, but we didn't even have nothing like that
Lindsay.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just 10,000 people. Imagine, going to a city that's like over 400,000 people. I'm getting exposed to a lot more different things here. Like when I first started working at Denny's, one of my supervisors, he was gay, and he would try to get at me, and I was like, bro, like I've never been exposed to this. But I was like, nah, I just told him, like, hey, bro, I'm not like that. You do your thing. I don't care, but keep me out of it. And he was all right. So that was kind of my first exposure because like I said, in my city, if there was gay people, they were just
undercover.
But
they was there though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just want to.
They wouldn't tell it because
Exactly.
going back again, we didn't have that comfort. We didn't have that exposure to go like let them come out and then accept them how they were.
Exactly.
Like here, they have a group. They didn't have a group over there. Kind of like you said, they weren't accepting to who they were, their self-identity. So they kind of had to hide it and go with the group. So I feel like going back to our topic that, I don't think we're accepting at all, if you want me to be honest. Even if you try to be, there's still some things that you can work on. Like even myself, everybody got, sometimes I look at people, I'm like, damn, like he's gonna rob me. If I go talk to him, he's gonna rob me.
I felt that way, I ain't gonna lie. But what can we do to change that thing that keeps us from talking to people that are the most different from us? Like I've adopted it to my life over the last 10 years to make sure that I like intentionally talk to, like, so if I'm at an airport and like I see like a 75-year-old white man, I'll go sit with him just because he's different from me and I want to see what he's on. If I see the business person, if I see a Mexican brother, I'll go sit with him and they inspire me, like start learning Spanish. Since like then I wanted to start learning Spanish. And I think that's diversity in action. But how intentional are you guys about really going out of your way to make sure that you connect with people that are completely different from you?
Well, I like to say I have an open mind, but sometimes you don't really think about it. You're just going through your day-to-day life. I don't think I'm that intentional. But when a situation arises and I see someone who's clearly very different from me, like I want to keep an open mind. I want to hear what they have to say and keep in mind that they have their own beliefs and that's them. I let them do them because it's not my life, it's theirs. So
Bars.
yeah.
How intentional? Yeah. How intentional about you guys? How intentional and deliberate are you or should you want to be, or do you want to be about talking to people that are just super different from you?
I definitely would like to do it, but I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie about it. I really don't. I kind of stay to the same circle that I'm with. I want to say when I'm out in like the community and stuff like that, that's when I start talking more to people. But when I'm not going to like, I always hear people like, oh, when you go to the grocery store, like just speak to someone there. I mind my own business. Like, get out the way. I'm trying to get my groceries real quick. So I really don't, but I would hope to do it one day, kind of grow within myself.
There's always today.
Want and that need. Yeah.
Should we, Time for Change, issue a challenge to each other and to our audience that this week we challenge you to find one person that's super different from you and talk to them?
Yeah.
Do you all promise to do it?
Yeah.
Don't lie.
I'll try.
Nah, yeah.
Okay.
We'll put the effort.
Okay.
No, yeah. And it has to be like a stranger. It can't be like.
Yeah.
No.
Or they could be like a group like Time for Change. There is no other. But
That's right.
If there was a group like Time for Change, this kind of group almost kind of forces you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't force you like you have to do it,
Yeah.
but just because you're there and you start to see other people, you kind of just start to vibe with other people, and then all of a sudden you're finding yourself more open to everything that's going on around you.
Yeah.
Is that true or no?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I was gonna say too. Like when I'm here, I'm more open to talk to a whole bunch of different people than when I'm at home or whatever. So definitely being in a group like this helps to that exposure.
It's dope. I love this episode. I think it's amazing episode. I think it's an amazing opportunity for us to examine the building blocks of how we become this way. I think on the next episode, we're going to jump into some more evolved themes in this same idea to find out what separates us. But lastly, I just want to get like a quick 30-second or so summary from you guys about what this episode has meant to you, what it's causing you to think about, what you might want to do different, do the same, help others, whatever the case may be. Start with you.
Yeah. I think I did learn a lot. It made me think about my intention of actually going out there and meeting new people and getting a different perspective on things. Because I don't think I'm that intentional about it. I feel like I just stuck with it. But I feel like I should, because I've gone through that experience of feeling like I was forced to be in a group and not being comfortable to be myself.
Wow.
So I think just talking to random people, I feel like I really would do that. I'm very shy, so it's gonna be hard. So, but I'm willing to do it just because it's experience, you know. Meeting new people it's good, you know.
That's amazing. Yeah. Look at you. You ain't that shy. You on camera. What about you guys?
You go first.
Okay. A summary.
Or just what it meant to you, anything that stuck out to you, anything at all.
I feel like it's kind of unintentional when we talk to different people that are not like us or like a different from us in any kind of way. I feel like we all just, I don't know, it's just super cool. I don't know.
It is cool. No, that's okay. That's okay. That's vibes.
I also remember when we were actually having a meeting or something like that, and I forgot her name, but she, like one of the staff members, she was like, "Oh, like go talk to somebody that you've never talked to before."
That would be Crystal.
And she came and talked to me, and you know, so I feel like even being in like Time for Change, where everybody needs to go, but but I feel like being at Time for Change really also like allows us to like talk to different people, meet different people, and things like that. So this is also kind of like opening that up for me too, because I'm also shy.
Oh my God, be honest. Oh.
Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. We'll see you guys at the next one. Maybe I'll share a little bit. Maybe I won't. You know.
You know what time it is?
Time for change.
All right, we out of here.
Peace.